Hey everybody, welcome to the Final Order Cutoff Show with Steve, and
Keith here.
nice to see everybody this week. There's some great stuff. It's a short list this week, Keith.
Yeah, this. So this is going to be end up about third week of the month. Kind of falls in the middle there, where off week for no. We call it the non-Batman week, right? Where everybody kind of stacks up their bigger stuff on that. But I don't, you're right. There's good stuff coming out here. We're in the middle of Joker Paradise if you're a fan for that. So we get the next one of that.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's mostly. I think there's more new books on our list than there are variants and stuff this week.
There is. I think highlighting that is that's not a terrible thing. I think there was some other good variants, so we kind of maybe we were just picky this week. That's I'm
Well,
okay
some
with it.
books were the one we're not covering is the Fearless #4 connecting variant,
Yep.
which everybody's on that by now, right?
Right.
That knows. So it's pretty, but there's just no really necessary. I'll cover it in my Facebook post with all the images.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. We've chatted about it before, kind of thing. But
yeah,
we can kick off here with getting into the number ones and all this. Dark Horse is putting out a horror book, Count Crowley, Reluctant Midnight Monster Hunter. Davis Dast Malkian, which I've tried to get that pronunciation right, and hopefully I'm close. He is a actor. Most people would remember him from the Ant-Man movie. He was the one of the partners in crime, and I remember him from the Dark Knight Returns, where he is the Joker's henchman that's captured and tortured by Two Face.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's the one. He was in the police uniform, right?
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
this book's a straight nod to your old, 70s feeling like public access television, like introducing the monster movie kind of thing, where a new host gets thrust into this and finds out that it's not all just fake movies kind of idea. And there's a little bit of monsters running in the world.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna check out the first issue when it comes out for sure. I watched him do some Facebook videos to kind of hype his book a little bit. So I'm gonna show it a little love, give it a read.
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty funny comic relief in the Ant Man movies too. So
hmm I think the flavor stays. So,
yeah,
so I'm
yeah,
hopeful for.
yeah. So the next book, right? You talked about Joker, being Joker heaven. You've got Harleen, and now you've got Joker Killer Smile, and this one's from Jeff Lemire, right? And Andrea Sorrentino is doing cover A and the interiors, and then we've got Car Andrews doing an amazing cover B right there. That's just I love that. That's a great cover.
That is
Uh,
going to scream for attention when it's on the rack.
yeah, and so this is going to be a 3 issue series, and it's billed as a psychological thriller. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Can't,
Black Label again. 5.99. I believe that the formatting of this book is supposed to be along the lines of Batman Last Night on Earth, as opposed to it's in that line that they're trying to put out instead of the oversized one like say Harleen and Batman Damned.
yeah. So that's a good. I mean, that's the old prestige format, normal size comic. Yeah,
Yep.
um, absolutely. Yeah, make looks good.
Definitely going to go down. It's billed as the investigating the psyche of the Joker and his relationship to a therapist. So that'll turn out well for the therapist. And I love the teaser blurb. It's gonna be really good there. Um, I gotta say we covered the Nightfall one and we got to read the Nightfall one. They released some preview pages of this one, the Tales from the Dark Multiverse, the Death of Superman.
Right.
Imagine that instead of Lois just going straight into mourning, she goes into blame and wants to hold people accountable for letting her man die, and goes out there and maybe even gets powers to do it.
Yeah, she becomes the Eradicator essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she's just going and taking revenge on everybody that she feels is responsible. So I really liked the bat the Batman Dark Multiverse story. Right, I think this one's going to be even better.
It's got long legs. I I'm gonna be a sucker for what ifs. I always am gonna fall in for those because it's just I love the little twist of fate. What if I turned right instead of left that day? Kind of ideas. And so I'm gonna read every one of these. And like I said, I was impressed with what they came through with the Nightfall one. We got to read that full one, and I do. I'm with you on this one. Like I'm definitely more of a Bat fan than a Superman fan, but this was the story that brought me into comics. I was the sucker that fell for Death of Superman on the newsstands and had to like, oh my goodness, what's going to go happen next? And this is what did bring me into comics before I became an X-Men junkie.
I got you. You know what's so you mentioned what if, and the dark multiverse stories are they really essentially they're great kind of what if stories, but at the end of the day, they let's say some of these they'll never bring up again, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because they're essentially dark multiverse stories, these characters technically exist
Mm-hmm.
as you see them. So I mean, they could appear at any time, which is pretty cool. It's a little taking things a step further than Marvel with What If.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, so you've been waiting for this one for a while, right? I mean, we got a lot of customers after that B cover. This is so Amazing Mary Jane off the heels of Spider-Man 25. Um, you know, kind of getting her own, her her own opportunity, right, to be
Mm-hmm.
have a hero. And so you've got cover A here by Humberto Ramos, and this is
Oof.
all our customers are ordering, right? So the B cover, the classic crime noir style by Art Germ. Just a great cover. And then there's also, I don't know if we probably don't have
I put it.
there's also, oh, we do.
Yeah, but I'm only going to leave it there for a second. I'm going to go right back.
There's a blank sketch cover available as well, which is great for conventions and whatnot.
um, there was a couple people talking to me recently. It says, yeah, don't you feel like Art Dream just keeps doing the same thing over and over again, kind of idea? And you definitely have some similarities in some of his work, but more recently, those different stylized Catwoman variants through the different eras, and this stands out. Like this is just like you said, the noir, the old style to this, the classics. This this is everything you want to see in 40s 50s movies kind of idea. Like it's so good, and it looks a little like the art comes out a little distressed kind of idea. Like it's a little bit period pieced.
Right.
It's great. The book's going to be interesting. I think it's set for a 5-part mini, is what the design was right now, but you know how that could change.
Yeah, absolutely. We've definitely seen miniseries just never end, right? They're so good and they're doing so well that they're like, well, let's just keep putting issues out. Hope nobody notices.
Pretty sure that's how we got to Ghost Spider, because I think that like that's one of the prime examples that, as fans demanded, like that old sales pitch line is true sometimes.
Yeah, you just never know when you strike gold. I mean, and yeah, Ghost Spider is a perfect example.
Well, and jumping next into Amazing Spider-Man Full Circle, it's listed as a number one, but this appears to be a one shot. It's a $9.99 giant book. Nick Spencer is working on several different Spider-Man stories with creative talents through the roof, is what's promised. Jonathan Hickman's already attached as one of the stories that he's working with on this. So, right now it's great. That guy's stock couldn't be higher. Like people are gonna pay attention to what he's got there. But as I kind of pointed out in the solicit for you and all this, there's even a Spider Ham story inside this. So
That's the part that matters. It got me. You put Spider Ham in the book, I'm going to read it.
yeah, A cover here, Rod Rice, and then we go Chris Sprouse on a B cover. And you do have another blank on this one, so they're doubling down on the blanks this week.
Opportunity to get somebody to sketch Spider Ham for you.
Yeah, it's a perfect book for it, right? I mean, like you can't. The only thing they do need to do one different for you there is actually come out with one that just is Spider Ham number one, Peter Porker Spider Ham number one with a blank.
Oh yeah, maybe they'll do that for the. Didn't September's order? There's a new Spider Ham
Maybe
number one.
no, maybe I'm just remembering what we had just done because it's like a blur.
But yeah, but I don't. it'd be great if they would add a blank to it.
we could just ask for it, and again, as we demanded.
Yeah. Okay, so Luna Snow. This is the what was the last video game character that we did the FOC 2 weeks in a row? What
Was it
was
White Fox? Is that the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the second character, right, that they're doing from the Marvel mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows? Maybe one of these will really take off. I love the cover art for these. Hopefully they're good stories too. You got Inhut Lee doing another great cover um, once again, and for me, I actually prefer his stuff to Art Germs most of the time.
I can go back and forth. I like both there. This is your B cover by Coax, another artist coming out of those Asian houses where they're, the artists seem to work in those group houses out there. Like Art Germ's working real closely with like Derek Chu and another guy, I can't remember his name off. And then there's these, you want to call them farms, but they're not that. But it's real similar, like your early '90s style, where people were getting together. Where you had the Wildstorm crew versus the Extreme crew and pieces like.
Studio, yeah,
And
they're stable.
and your C here by Aaron Cooter. So these definitely grab a lot of attention right off of the covers. This is the I'm sorry, this is Sana Takeda. Here I am, right? Yeah.
There, yeah.
I should.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it and I go, I'm saying it wrong because I know that's the same person that did Monstrous, but this is these different characters all get their little one shots. This is kind of the way this is planned, and to see where it grows from there.
Well, I think it's a great opportunity, right? Because a lot of younger people that maybe don't read comics yet are in playing the mobile games, and so hopefully this gets them interested, and they come and pick these one shots up, and then as if we're doing a good job running our stores, then they're going to keep coming back.
I agree. Now we get to your X-Men of the week. So last week we hit X-Men #1. Now all the weeks leading up should have at least one, if not two, launches to get us up to the full set of 6 books. So Marauders #1. This one's written by Jerry Dugan, who's got a lot of experience on Deadpool. So while he's got a lot of writing, I don't expect this book seems to be the grittier team as it stands. It's fun to see Kitty and White Queen on the same team from their old history kind of idea. But this is the Russell Dodderman A cover. The Every Mutant Ever connecting covers by Mark Bagley. And this was the Aaron Cooter line that I misread last time, which is still going to be a popular cover because Storm will always stand out.
Right. No, that's great. The lightning really, the light for that cover looks great. Yeah.
This is going to get a lot of test the water idea on this book because of the fact that this will be your first X-Men not written by Hickman, still post Hickman's reset of the universe, and you get to start seeing a little bit of the cohesiveness of how other writers are playing well with each other, which I expect to be well. But I think the sales punch and pitch will happen after this comes out. If it's well received, that's when this is the book that can really bring it all together.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so we do have a few ongoings that we want to highlight that have some variants. This is going to be Batman: Curse of the White Knight. It's doing pretty well for, I think, hopefully for every store, because it's doing well in ours. Sean Murphy doing all the writing and all the covers and all the interiors. Is just a one-man show. So this is cover A, and then we've got a B cover as well with the Joker carrying. God, I can't remember what that sword is called, but it's like old school fencing style, like Inigo Montoya.
Little rapier kind of thing. Yeah. Richie just makes a groaning sound of approval whenever he sees this cover. He's a big fan, and hey, look, Alfred's doing fine. No big deal, right?
Oh, that is Alfred. God,
But jumping over to like we talked about, Harleen was a monster of a launch. I thought I ordered enough. I didn't. We have B covers left, but man, that A is just gone for us. So it didn't help that we had some come in damaged, but this book has jumped out great and is a meaty read. It is not quick to get through. He may be putting a lot of love into his art, but he put a lot of work into the story too. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. So one of the first things I did once the book was releasing is I wanted to see what the reception to it was, and all the reviews have been extremely positive that I looked at. I didn't feel like my strong recommendations were, um, poor. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you just people let you down, but the reviews are like one of the best Harley Quinn stories ever. That kind of all that kind of stuff. So I know we have B's for sure for number one still. I don't know if we have any A's left, but the book's doing quite well. So we're looking forward to number two. So let's get the cover you want, or if you want both, let us know.
yeah, definitely there for that. Then Avengers 25 here, Stefano Caselli on your A cover here. Obviously, all the different eras of Ghost Rider just lined up for you. But we're back with our Mary Janes continuing this month. I think we've got 2 more weeks. And I think the Jay Anasleto here is really. I mean, that's. I like his poses on this a lot.
I like this one, and I'm usually not a huge fan of because you get a lot of covers that look kind of like this one, especially on titles like the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I really like the poses in this one. Yeah, it's looking good. And the last book of the day is Ghost Spider #3.
Yep.
And who did the A cover?
Nope. That I on my little notes there and all this, I did that backwards and all this. The A cover is. Oh no, it's Jorge Molina.
Jorge
Yep.
Molina. Okay, gotcha.
And then here's your B cover.
Right, and it's the Mary Jane, right? So that's the Mary Jane cover for Ghost Spider from Russell Potter.
Yes. Yep. I think that again theme the playing with the theme well as how covers could work because some of the Mary Jane covers come out her being the superhero kind of idea and sure could she pepper pots and throw on a suit of armor, sure, that's not a big deal here, but kind of a day in the life kind of cover here that's set up and all this. I think this will have a fan base to it and some legs, but
Yeah, I'm liking this one.
But that's our list for this week. Like I said, we don't have to go too deep. There's still more books out there to take a look at. I'm sure that both Stephen and I's post tomorrow will cover a couple more that we see just to highlight and bring attention. This was a heavier number 1 week for us to turn around and make sure people get on the pieces that they want for that. But
Yeah.
Still,
Are we gonna have an unscheduled video this week?
I would love to do an unscheduled video with you this week.
Yeah.
I think that would be an awesome idea, and just throw a monkey wrench in the whole thing and do something different, right?
Yeah, I know. We've got some things to discuss, and we should just go discuss them with everyone. We'll figure it out, guys. Though what day this week we want to get on and do that.
Yeah,
We're pretty excited.
we got a little bit of an announcement between the two of us. It's going to be fun. It'll be a blast. But thanks for hanging out with us for another week. It's always fun to talk to comics and enjoy that. And actually, kind of a nice little break this weekend because both me and Steve Storr have just been so crazy busy with Magic events going on. So it's fun to get back to comics for a minute.
It is a lot of Magic the Gathering this weekend. A whole lot. Yeah. So and I got more going on with it this week. Got some new events we're kicking off, and we're having some meetings with our community about what they're looking to do. So
Nice.
yeah, so that'll be good. But looking forward to chatting with everyone later this week, and have a great week, everybody.
Great. Thanks, guys.